So we left our last lecture at this point, the HTTP module, and I told you that this HTTP module is actually very important to build the web servers or the network applications using the Node.js platform or the environment. So network application, we can build HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. So web server we can build, we can receive the HTTP request and send back the response to the users. So let's build a web server that receive request and respond to them. So the first of all, what I need to do here, where is my slides here? So I need to create a new folder, HTTP. So I will do that step by step with you guys right now here. So what I need to do here, I just need to open my, what you can say that, where is my, I just opened that VS Code. Let me open it and then I will bring it here. Okay. So now what I want to do here, I want to create a new, open a new project, or we can say new folder. Okay. So I will say I want to open a folder, and on the desktop we have the 11 and then 11 a.m. and then in the week 8 we actually created that file, one file. So let me have that file. So you can see that we have the yesterday's file that we have created here, and then inside I am going to create a new folder, or we can say that a new HTTP folder. So I just create a new folder here. I say HTTP, and then inside the HTTP, I want to create a file app.js. So I have selected this folder. I say app.js. So when I do that, so I get this file. So now this is the first step that in the slide that we are asking for. Okay. So then what I need to create a import the HTTP library or the module inside that app.js, and then we can, using the create server, we can create an HTTP or the web server actually. Okay, so let's create that one. So we, first of all, we need to import. So I say constant HTTP is equal to require, and then inside the require I said HTTP. And then we, using that HTTP, I want to develop that server. So http.create server, that is a method which is already present in the app library or the HTTP library. Okay. So we say we want to build. So again, we say constant, and here it's the name of the variable. We can give any name. My web server, for example, is equal to http.create server, and then here we are not providing anything yet, and then we are doing that one. Then we have, so we have created the server. So normally that server is a program which is running at a specific port number. So you can say that in our computer we have many doors, and each door has a number on it. So that is actually a port number, and this web server or the my web server which we have just created, we want it to stand on a specific port or a specific door. So whenever there is any request that someone knocks, some HTTP request knock on that door, then this our my web server which we have just created, it open the door and receive that request and then send back the response to the client as well. So what I want to do, I want to assign it a port number that on which we want to run it. Okay, on which we want to keep that program standing for responding the HTTP request. So I say my web server dot listen. So it listen on a specific port. So that is another method which is inside this web server. And then we are saying we need to tell which port number you want to study. So I will say 3000, anything above above 2500, above 3000 should be fine. I can make anything like 3330. Okay. And now once we are listening, so actually what is happening here, so we, this program now start, that web server start and then stand on the door number 3030 or the port 3030, and then it will wait. it will not stop. Remember, if I have this my table, and then if I just come back here, and then I say in my terminal, and then I say node app.js, and then I press enter, actually it will stop the program. Yeah, it execute the code which is inside it using that first node.js and the app.js. Actually, it perform the thing, and after that, that program stop. But and the other thing that I want to show you here, that ls. So in this folder right now, our terminal is inside the main folder, week number 08. But we have created an HTTP folder. And if we want to do something there, then we need to move ourselves over there, or we need to tell that from the HTTP server, run that file. So we can, so when we are running, so if we want to run this file, yeah, look here, this one, that is the inside the app.js, oh, sorry, HTML, HTTP folder. HTTP folder. So what I need to do, I say node, I want to run a file in the node environment from the HTTP uh, folder, and then the file name is app.js. And when I do that, so now, I mean, it is asking me that you want to public and private access because it is a network. I say, yes, I want to allow it. So when I allow, so look at that, this program is not stopping. This listen is actually what it is doing. It make that web server stand at the port number 300, and it does not stop unless and until we stop it. For example, control C, and it will stop. So now we have stopped it forcefully. Okay, it is not stopping itself. So that is exactly, every web server is actually a program which is continuously running, infinitely running at a specific port number to receive and send back the response against the HTTP requests. Okay, so after that, if you look at my slides, what I did, I server dot on connection, when the connection is being made. Huh? The other thing is this create server, that create a web server, and that web server is actually even is a child of the EventEmitter class. And remember that in the last lecture, we created this thing here. We created an adder class. Where is the, yeah, here, adder class, and that's a make it an EventEmitter. It means on this class, on the object of this class, we can define the events. Okay, so that is what exactly we are telling, that when the connection created on that specific event, listen 3000 or 3, I put it 3030. So when the connection is being made on that, then you need to give write something in the console. Okay, the other thing, I would also add one more thing here after this one. So we are say console dot log, and then we are consoling server is listening on port 3030. Okay, so this is what we, again, if we try to run the program here, I will just run it again. So now you can see that it started that server and stand it on the port number 3030 to listen for any HTTP requests. But at the same time, after that one, it printed me the message that server is actually listening on the port number 3030. So we are just giving a message on the console. So now let me add these things, server.on, when we say connection, and then when we are giving a connection with that, then it will show me that message. So here we say uh, my web server dot on, and then we can say connection, and then we are giving a method. So again, we are using the we can use two different ways. Okay, and what are those? So we can give a function like this. We have this one, and then here we say we have the socket that is coming in as a parameter to this method, and then we are printing something on the console. So actually, we have two different parameters. The one is this one, and then this one is the callback method. So whenever this connection happened on this port then we are going to execute this callback method. So this is our callback method. So here, what we want to do, again, we want to do some console.log, and then inside the console.log, we are going to say that connection was made on port 3030. Okay, so I just do that. So now we have this function. So either we write this function like this, using this one as a function keyword, or we can simply remove that function keyword, and then after this parameter list, or we can just put an arrow. So this is also the same thing. Either you write a function, or you just put that equal to and greater than sign. It will become an arrow function. So in that arrow function, we can, you know we that is also acceptable. So either you write up using the function like this, or you write the function using the function keyword. In both cases, so first of all, because we have make some changes inside our server, we have to stop our program again and then run it again. So I say, I am here, I bring my control or the focus on the terminal, and then I say press Control C, then it will stop. Okay, so now I want to run that program again. And when I do that, look, server is listing on the port number. Now the point is how we are going to make a connection with that. Okay, so how we can do that? We need to open up what you can say that a new terminal, a new window, a new browser. So actually now this browser is what you can say that this browser is the not this one. So this browser is actually the client, and this program which is running in this terminal is the server. So if I want to make a connection, I will say localhost, and then rather than 30,000, I will say 3030, and then press enter. So now you can see that it say that the connection was made on the port number 3030. So whenever I what you can say that I will just let me put this one here and the code here, and then make it a little bit smaller. So now you can see that we have this one. So if I just stop it, because right now my server is not responding. So whenever I make a connection, it is expecting the server to bring back some response, which it is not. So that's why it is always, going into that it is waiting for. Okay, it is. So when let me write it down again, and then press the enter again. When I press enter again, so you can see that it is printed one more line in the connection was made on the port number 3030. And then now this page is actually keep on refreshing itself, because it is expecting some response from the server, which he is not going to get it. Why? Because we did not send back any response from the server, so we can stop it for time being. So that is, you can see that we have this program which is running in this computer, and then we also have a browser which say that I want to connect with this local computer on the port number 3030, and is actually connected with our program which is running here. Okay, so you can see that it is again start print more line here. So that is the what you can say that our first web server. Of course it is not doing anything, but just to show you that we have a program which is running in a computer, in our own computer, and then we have a browser. So browser is the client, and that program which is running in our terminal is the server. So they are communicating over the hypertext transfer protocol mechanism. So they are using the http protocol to communicate with each other, and then the request comes in. When the connection is made, it will print that message on the screen, on the console, or you can say that in the terminal. So let's having created a connection, so we need to create a web server. Okay, so once we understand that there is a connection, so now we can create a web server and pass a callback function that can receive requests and send back responses to the server. So when we are creating the server, rather than we don't, I mean, here if we look at that, we did not provide anything here inside the parameter list. We did not provide anything. Okay, so here we can provide a parameter, and that will be a function, and that function will be a callback function. So whenever a connection is made, with this server, it will execute this method. Okay, so now let me introduce to you that one. So what I am doing here, so we will have the request and response object, which will come as a parameter in that method. And then we are checking if the request.url is this, then we send that thing to the and then response.end. And then we can also see some of the things as well. So, but let's see. So we are going to create rather than we are going to uh, leave that parameter when we are creating a server. We are also providing a function to it, and that function will have two parameters. One is request, the http request, which is coming from the client to the server. And then we also have response object. That is the response object. Using this response object, we can send the information from our program to our client, which is this browser here as well. So what I need to check, so URL. If I say, for example, let me make it a little bit bigger. So because now we are saying this thing, so that is the root. So whenever we say root, actually it is this thing. If request dot URL, okay, is triple equal to slash, then what we want to do. So for example, I want to do want to send back a response. So we say response dot send. I say write, and then I'm writing something like I say h1, and then I say slash h1, and then we are saying that first response from node server. Okay, so when I do that, and then I say response dot end, we need to end that response as well. So we are finishing that. We can write more things as well. For example, if I just try to okay, let me first run this thing and then see what happened here. So now we are saying that whenever there is a connection is being made, a request has been made on that web server, then what we will do, we will execute this program. And here we are saying that in the else part, I am going to do something different. Here I say that I say rather than h3, I say h1 into h3, and then we say, because this is something which the resource someone is trying to access and we are unable to. The resource you are looking for does not exist. I say controls alt Z so that we can see all the code in front of us. Okay, so now what I'm saying here, I have created this web server and then I assign this callback method. This callback method will be executed whenever there is a connection is made with this server or with this program from the client side. And then it check if it is a root like this one, the URL is localhost colon 3030, that is a root. If it is a root, then it will send back an h1 element and then end the response. If else can mean that the resource that we are looking for does not exist. So we are saying something like that. And then of course we also have this one. So here this is maybe we don't require, because now we can get back the response from the server. So we don't need to have that specific event handler here. So we can just comment it. Let's come back here, control C, stop our program and run that program again. And now you can see that. And now if I do that, so now you can see that the response is coming back into the server and it show me that h1. And if I do something like this, I change that URL, for example, 3030, yes, but after that I write something and then I press enter, then it will send me the else part. H3, why it is not H3? Okay, dot write, we are using the same thing, but here we say H3, but here it is showing me as a text, but in the other case it is showing me as a HTML. Yeah, so anyway, so this is what you can say that. So we according to the request. So again, we can also have one more what you can say that I can say that else if and then I do something like here And then here I say that if the request is, for example, data slash data, it means that I need to write something like here slash data. And if this URL come in, then I would say I want to do something like this. And then I say that the data response from data response from the server. And of course, we need to make this one as the as a string. Okay, so we have a string value that is coming, so we are matching this parameter or the URL based on the string. And if the again we also need to do something like this, we are not writing like this. So we need to tell that if the URL is equal to slash data, it means that slash and then we have a data value, then it will do that. And again, what I need to do, I need to stop my server because we have changed the code and need to rerun that server again. And then here, if I just do that, now you can see data response from the node server. Okay. So in the else part it is not showing, but anyway, in the if conditions, if the URL is matching with a specific thing, so that is our first web server. You can say that the client is sending a request to the server and server is responding. Okay, not this one. I want to do this. Okay, so is the first. If I write anything else, then it will go to the else part. And if I say data, then it will going to the data part. Sorry. So here, look, I mean, we are only, I mean, if I just to go back to my slides. So now we have created our server, which is responding back to the to that. Where is my where is okay? Microsoft PowerPoint has stopped responding. Huh? It is. Let me. What I need to do? I need to stop that. It is working. Yes, yeah, it is working. So let me see. So we created that one. So once we run the program, now we can open the browser, and then inside the browser we can type the localhost colon 3000 or 3030, and it will send a request to the server, and the server is responding to the client. So in this way, we can write anything. It's actually we are executing the add method here. So yes, it is also possible. uh, we need to import those files here. Okay, so once we do that, so let us do that in the else if part. Where is the else if part? So we can go here, and now we need to import more things. So we say constant, we say header is equal to require, and then we say this one dot slash first node. Okay, so because we have not created that, if in the first node we have only this print table. So what I can do here, I can say that in the else part, let me put this one here. And then here I say, for example, table. So when I say slash table, it will send back a response which is needed. So what I need to do here, so we are saying that adder.on and then some of the numbers. So we are writing. So whenever that executing, so we are going to here, and then we are rather than we say that we have an adder. So we need to first create that adder. Okay, so let me come down here, require adder. So we have already done that. So let me make it a capital A so that we can say, just to make sure that is actually a class that we are creating. So we say uh, constant header is equal to new header. So we are going to create the object of this class. And once we have created the object, now we can do something like this. So we say header dot on, and then we say the added event. And then when added event is executed, so let me make sure that we are writing the same thing. We don't have the header actually. Okay. Okay, so let me, what I need to do here, I mean, rather than I will print the table, when I say print the table, is actually printing that lines for me on the console. It is not returning me the string. I can change it, this thing, or I can do what we can do, we can create that adder method here. Okay, so where is this class? So we are going to have this thing. This is our adder extending the emitter. So let me copy that code here from here and then put it here. So I will just try it inside the HTTP, or maybe after out of that one, I create a new header.js file, and then inside I am putting that. So now we have this header, okay? And then once we have this header, then we need to, I don't need to do that. Here, rather than I importing the first, I say I want to import the add slash header. So when we add, now we have actually imported this file. And now we have created the object. Now we can write the program like this, and then we can say that on event emitter. So make sure that the name is added event. Okay. So we are going to create that event, and then we are going to give back a function that is going to execute it when this event has happened. So we say then response dot write. Okay. So actually we are the header, yes, response dot write, and then inside the write we are going to give back the sum of numbers is, and then we are going to say that plus, and then we say header dot sum value that is available inside this one here. We are exporting the header. We also need to export the uh, sum as well. So we can say that exports, and then we are equal to, we are going to do something like this. Then we have the sum variable, and we need to do something like this. So we are actually saying that exports, in the exports we are assigning this object, so it will export the sum and the header. Okay, 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 and that is what we have here. No, we don't need to do that here, because that is a class that we are exporting, and the sum is inside the class, so we can access that sum. And then right after that one, in the sum, where we are saying that if the function, uh, then we say response dot end, and once we done that, then we say header dot add any two numbers, for example 25 comma 96. So it will add these two numbers, and then here that we rather than having, we say add. Okay, so now our we need to stop our server and run that server again. So when we run our server again, so again let me check everything, it is working. We also have this slash add. When we do that, data response from node server. So it is an add. Okay, what is happening? It's not a data response. So we say we have the add URL. If else request.url is slash add, then it is actually okay. Let me check again. Add response. Our, let me control C and then do it. Then it of course will say that there is no server which is running. Yeah. So let me clear the things from here. So this one we have, okay, let me make sure that we are in the else part, that slash data slash add, and then we need to rerun that server again. Computer is not responding. Okay, what's the problem? My computer becomes slow a little bit, huh? So it is not responding to me now. Come on, guys. No. So we actually what one we will send the slash add. Then what will happen? It will come into this one. It will generate that. It will actually design or define that event. And then what will okay, so actually it is also coming when we have this one as well. So we don't want this one, so that's why it is write this one and then again send that the response. So that was a reason that it is not working. So let me check if it is my computer has been deleted. Go to the terminal, new terminal. So we say node in the http and then app.js. When we run it, so server is running. So now I just do that. 3030, yes. Yeah, we get this one, then we have add, and when we do that, actually it is not okay. Okay, so actually we put this thing inside the event handler. Okay, so we don't want that thing to be in the event handler. We want it outside the event handler. And then, of course, we need to stop that one and then rerun our server. And now you can see that sum of the number is this. So if I just try to make that one into the H2 and then also put the H2 afterward as well, slash h2, and then we save it, and then of course we need to stop the server and rerun the server again. And now if I just do that, now you can we are getting the h2, not getting just like the because we are okay anyway. So this is we are getting the response, the sum of the numbers. See, 25 and 89 is 114. So we are getting that response back. Anyway, so we can run. So yeah, here we are again. So we are adding that. We did that, and this add function should be outside of the should be outside of uh, the event handler that we are defining. Okay, or redesigning it. So that will give me the answer, and then that is the end of our lecture for today. So you have seen these, we have created this server, which is actually created. And then the other thing is, if you look at now, we can see some problems. What are the problems are? So problem is that every time if you have a new URL, maybe you have 30 or 40 or maybe 100 hundreds of them, then for every url we need to write an if condition, if else if else if else if else if. So I don't think so that this is a good idea or this is a right idea to implement your web server like this. So we in the next lecture, the last lecture of our discourse, we will see that how we can handle that is more intelligently. Of course, there are some, what you can say, that some libraries which exist, and then we will be using that library to make it more readable, more understandable, or more simpler rather than writing the if condition, if else, if else, if else, if else. Okay. So, anything else that you want me to do, show you today, students? Everybody sleeping?
No, I am here. No, everything clear. Okay.
So, I mean,
Doctor,
yes.
I couldn't open the camera, so please, if you could بس يعني make sure that the system is logged me as
Okay, we'll see, inshallah.
present.
Ibrahim Nasser, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, inshallah, we will see. Once I
Okay.
will get
Thank
the
you.
attendance report, then I will see that. But wait,
But, please don't forget.
yeah, inshallah, inshallah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other question?
Doctor, can I ask you a favor?
Yes, please.
Can you extend the deadline of the assignment till the Thursday?
It is the first assignment or second assignment?
If you can do it both, I will be appreciated.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I will see. I will see.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Because starting from the next chapter or the next lecture, actually, we will be working on that how to build these servers, how we can connect with databases, how we can send the request from the browser to the server send back the responses, and then how we can handle those things. So okay, so we will be looking at that aspect starting from the next lecture, and that is what we can say that where you will have all the tools to build a complete application. You have a front end, you have a back end, and then you can complete web application. You can so you can become a full stack developer, huh? Because you already have studied about the databases. So I will give you the tools to develop the backend servers and the front end tools, which we have already studied. And then in this way, you will have the complete. You can consider yourself as a complete web developer. Huh? So that's all for the lecture, which is a recording. So thank you very much.